Hello, fellow members of the Midnight Society. Welcome back to another episode review from the show Are You Afraid of the Dark? Last time, we covered The Tale of the Midnight Ride, Tucker's initiation story about two teens who face off against the Headless Horseman on Halloween. Tonight's narrative, from Kiki, is about a girl who moves into a new apartment building and starts experiencing some strange phenomena in the apartment next door. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society, I call this Season 3, Episode 2, The Tale of Apartment 214. We open on Tucker messing with the bag of magic dust as the others show up and take it away from him. Wait. Why? How is he there before Gary? If Gary's not allowed to attend the meeting without dragging his little brother along, surely they would arrive together. And wouldn't Gary keep the pouch on his person? Like, surely they're not just leaving the dust there for anyone who happens through the woods. A bag full of white powder in a secluded location? Not a good look. The anonymous tip was right, sir. There's magic dust all over the place. Yeah, no, their little midnight drug ring is getting shut down. In fact, one might even say that this is the tale of getting busted. Gary asks Betty Ann if her friend Sam, who was mentioned in the previous episode, is going to be telling a story tonight. Betty Ann says that she'll tell a story next week. Really, Betty Ann? A friend that's a girl that's mysteriously never ready to tell her story? Let me guess. She's never around because she lives in Canada? Wait. The show's production is in Canada, so they all live there. Well, that joke didn't work at all. It's established that Kiki will be telling the story of the night. As Frank shows up, he and Tucker have the following exchange.
I'm dead.
Yeah, from the neck up.
Hey, you want to be dead from the neck down?
Good one, Frank. Makes me miss the old back and forths between you and Eric. Wait, is Tucker the new Eric? I mean, the episode just started and he's already being a prat, so he's on track. Let's see how it plays out.
Boss.
Frank is exhausted from helping his brother move. While most of the gang say that they hate moving, Kiki says that she loves it, claiming that she enjoys the mystery of who lived in the place formerly, what they were like, and why they left. She then sets up her story by saying,
A promise is a pledge, something to rely on. You should never break a promise.
Oh, this isn't just about moving. This is about heartbreak. Who hurt you, Kiki? Now look, I know you've been hesitant to open up to me in the past, but this is a safe space. You can tell me. Who broke their promise? Was it Kristen? Were you two secretly besties and you only pretended to hate her at the meetings and she promised that you'd always be friends and then suddenly she just moved without saying anything and now you're sad about it? That's it, isn't it? I knew it. You're just a big softie.
I'm gonna smack you.
Kiki goes to start her story, but then this happens.
I call this story.
Give it back, bozo.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely getting Eric vibes. Wait. Oh, what is that? What is that feeling? It's so familiar. It's like building up inside of me. Is that anger? No, it's not anger. Is that hatred? What is hatred? It's like a warm blanket. It's back, baby! Thanks, Tucker! The tale begins outside of the Cortine apartments. Kiki gives some exposition about our main character, Stacy, whose parents are separating and she's moving into a new apartment with her mother. I mean, are we really surprised anymore? They should just change the name of the show to Are You Afraid of Happy Families? Stacy complains to her mom about how small the apartment is, and her mother says that it's all she can afford right now. As they head back outside to get more of their stuff, this happens. Concerning.
Niet.
Stacy and her mom are getting a glass jar of pennies out of their trunk when they get a bit of a jump scare.
Hey!
Well, you see, there's your problem. No wonder you can't afford a bigger apartment. A penny jar? Does Scrooge McDuck fill his bin with pennies? I don't think so. Get yourselves a quarter jar. Now that's where the real money's at. Anyway, their Eastern European stereotype of a landlord tells them to move their car before heading inside in a huff. Stacy's mom asks her to go get the broom and dustpan from inside so they can clean up their broken glass, leading to this. Nope. A door creepily opens once as I pass by, fine. But a second time? That is stranger f***ing danger right there. Later that night, Stacy is reading out on the balcony outside the apartment when she starts hearing a knocking on the window glass from inside the neighboring apartment. After it happens more than once, she heads inside. Okay. Alright, Kiki. We're finally getting a smart protagonist. Good for you. As Stacy checks on her mom, who's asleep on the couch, she hears knocking at their door. She first checks the peephole, and after not seeing anyone, opens the door. I take it back, Kiki. We've got another classic Are You Afraid of the Dark idiot protagonist on our hands. Fortunately, Stacy doesn't make it to apartment 214 as her mother stops her and tells her that she doesn't want her wandering around at night. At least someone here has some sense. We cut to another day where Stacy is coming home from school and intentionally stops outside of apartment 214. Why are you obsessed with the creepy door? Best case scenario, it's a drafty room with a crappy door latch. Worst case scenario, it's haunted by the ghost of a child murderer. Either way, you don't need that kind of drama in your life, Stacy. Isn't adolescence hard enough as it is? She listens at the door only to be startled by Angela, a neighbor around her age from apartment 212. When Stacy asks who lives in 214, Angela says that she didn't think anyone did. Alright, murder ghost it is.
Niet.
Stacy asks if Angela would want to hang out sometime, and Angela answers with,
Maybe.
yeah, only if she's not a total zeeb. Am I right, Ange? Up top. Angela, don't leave me hanging. I'm not a total zeeb. I mean, mostly. We cut to another day where Stacy is coming home from school and she sees an old woman peeking out of the window of apartment 214. This prompts her to head straight inside and start knocking on the murder door. On the door. After getting no response, she starts to walk away only to have this happen. Fortunately, Stacy realizes that something is off about this whole situation, heading home and never thinking about apartment 214 again. Okay, now look, if you fell for it this time, that's on you. Of course she walked into the apartment to be murdered by a ghost.
Bummer.
Inside, Stacy finds a kindly old lady who opens with,
Will you join me?
if you just wanted some company, why were you being such a creeper? That's not how you make friends and influence people. We learn that the old woman's name is Madeline and that she's an amateur painter. She tells Stacy that she never had kids of her own and used to live with her nephew who promised she could always live with him, but changed his mind once his own family got too big, hence why Madeline lives alone. She laments how when she moved she lost all of her friends, and Stacy can relate, having left all her friends behind in the move as well. Yeah, but you just moved across town. Do neither of you know how phones work? Well, I'm off, so I guess we can't be friends anymore. I mean, we could still hang out at the mall or at a park or something. Yeah, the distance between us will just be too far to communicate. We can chat on the phone. Yeah, there's just no feasible way for us to correspond anymore. We could even write letters. Oh, my sweet, naive former friend. No one knows how to read. What? Stacy and Madeline become fast friends, hanging out on a regular basis. One night, Madeline asks Stacy to specifically stop by the following day as she doesn't like to be alone on that particular day. Stacy promises that she'll be there, and I'm certain that nothing is going to prevent her from keeping that promise.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
The next day, while checking the mail, Stacy runs into Angela and they have this little exchange.
Tickets to the Battle of the Bands. I didn't even know they were selling them yet. You want to come? We got an extra ticket. Really? When? Right now.
Wait, if the concert is that day, how did you not know they were already selling tickets for it? What sort of ticket buying experiences have you had? 2 tickets, please.
Sorry, dude. They're not on sale yet.
But the concert starts in 15 minutes.
Whoa. I don't make the rules, dude. You want tickets, brah? You wait.
Angela invites Stacy to the concert. Stacy says that she can't go because she promised to visit someone, but how do you know that Madeline wouldn't be into the Battle of the Bands? Bring her along. Get her on stage. It'll be good for her. Anyway, that doesn't happen. What does happen is that Angela convinces Stacy to break her promise through some good old peer pressure.
Just do it!
Stacy heads to the concert with Angela while a melancholy Madeline watches from the window. Later that night, after the concert, Stacy hears crying from apartment 214. She heads in to investigate, only to have this happen.
Why did you break your promise?
What the hell was that acting? Was she scared, constipated, smiling like the Joker? What? Anyway, she turns the lights on to find Madeline gone and the apartment completely empty. The door then slams closed and Stacy becomes trapped in apartment 214 forever. What a great dark ending, I gotta tell you. Wait, that can't be the end. We're only halfway into the episode. What is happening?
Keep basking in the glow of the big orange couch. Snick will continue after these messages.
Oh, stupid commercial break cliffhangers. Stacy pounds on the door until the manager opens it from the outside. She runs back to her apartment and tells her mom what happened. The next day, she and her mom go to see the manager, whose name is Tybalt Horstrom, or T-Horse to his homies. And I know this because we are tight, him and I. We go way back to the old country, where we are literally homies because he would run complex, I would run complex. And we have saying in old country that is, managers before tenants. Is not good saying. Stacy and her mom ask if Madeline has moved out, and T-Horse tells them that no one has lived in apartment 214 for years. We cut to a montage with some voiceover from Kiki telling us what happened after.
As time went on, she realized that Madeline wasn't coming back, and she would never get the chance to apologize.
Well, it isn't the dark ending I was looking for, but it's not super mega happy either, so wait a minute. This isn't the ending either. Damn it, Kiki! Stop having moments that feel like endings. One stormy night, Stacy's mother is going out to dinner with Stacy's father. It seems that they're talking again, though Stacy's mom says that there's no promise they'll be getting back together. The potential of a fractured family fixing itself? At least that's progress, Are You Afraid of the Dark writers? Later that night, Stacy hears knocking at her door. She sees Madeline through the peephole, but when she opens the door, she finds the hallway empty. She ventures down the hall to apartment 214 only to find a painting on the floor of her and Madeline in the apartment. As Stacy looks at the painting, the camera pans around to reveal the apartment is fully furnished again. Madeline appears in the apartment and reveals the twist that I think everyone except Stacy knew was coming.
10 years ago, on that day, is the day I died!
Stacy runs back to her own apartment, locking the door behind her. A note is slipped under the door asking why she broke her promise. Then, as she's backing away from the door, we get what might be the best moment of the episode. Now you see, this is why you don't befriend ghosts. Sure, they're all smiles 1 minute, but the second you don't do what they want, they turn into a class 4 full-bodied vaporous apparition. And then who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters!
Stacy runs to Angela's apartment and starts pounding on the door when suddenly the power goes out. A figure appears in the dark, causing Stacy to scream, but it turns out to just be old T-Horse. Stacy starts asking about Madeline again, and he assures her that no one lives in apartment 214 because when he shows it to potential renters, things happen that drive them off. You know, as though it's haunted, Stacy! He tells Stacy to go home and heads off to fix the fuse and get the power back on. And throughout all of this, no one has come to Angela's door, leading me to believe that Madeline was inside murdering the family while Stacy was having this little exchange with T-Horse.
Logical.
Stacy's dog runs into apartment 214, causing Stacy to follow him in to get him. The power comes back on as Stacy reaches the apartment, but she finds Bugsy in a closet, and as she does, Madeline appears again.
You broke your promise. You're just like my nephew.
Stacy says that she wasn't trying to be mean, that she was just trying to make a new friend. This causes Madeline to chillax as she realizes that her own angst was the result of being alone and that Stacy shouldn't suffer the same fate. She says that she won't bother Stacy anymore. Stacy asks if Madeline is dead, shouldn't she move on or something? To which Madeline responds,
I'm much too old and set in my ways to move anywhere.
Look, I know they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but the idea of an old person that is just so set in their ways that not even death can change that is funny to me. Anyway, Stacy says that eventually the apartment will get rented and Madeline will have to leave. Madeline says that she has nowhere else to go and doesn't want to leave, resulting in...
Maybe you won't have to.
We cut to the reveal of Stacy and her mom now living in apartment 214. Stacy's mom asks the manager why the rent is cheaper than it was in the first apartment, to which he says they get discount for living with ghosts. Stacy's mom says that there's no such thing as ghosts, which has me confused, because does she think that they moved in with Madeline? Because that's weird. Or does Madeline only show up when she's not around? Anyway, we cut to Stacy coming home bringing Madeline some flowers, and Kiki ends the story as follows.
When Stacy and her mom moved into apartment 214, she made up for her broken promise.
I mean, her parents must not have reconciled, so that's a bummer, huh? But hey, I guess you don't need two parents when you got a ghost nanny. Wait, ghost nanny? Ooh. That gives me an idea for a new sitcom starring Fran Drescher. Kiki, I'm gonna need your typewriter from The Tale of the Dream Machine. As the meeting wraps up, the pouch goes missing again, and it takes old Gare Bear just way too long to figure out that it was Eric 2.0 who stole it. Gary says that Betty Ann's friend Sam will be telling the story at the next meeting, and yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. Oh, please let it just be Betty Ann in a wig and glasses. Please.
I love it.
Gary ends the meeting, and as everyone else heads out, Gary realizes something.
Hey, where'd the bucket go?
And the forest burned down that very night. Now for the review. This episode was great. A classic ghost story with a lot of scary moments scattered throughout. I do think the acting was a bit of a mixed bag, and the ending is, it's a little happier than I like, but overall this episode was a lot of fun, and actually one I don't think I saw as a kid.
Such a talent.
The setting's pretty good. There's nothing innately scary about an apartment building, but there's always the idea that you don't really know your neighbors. They use the hallway between the apartments to great effect, and Madeline's apartment looks like it's trapped in a prior decade, making it even more appropriate when you find out she's keeping people from renting it. T-Horse probably can't even get in there to remodel it without some sort of ghostly shenanigans happening.
You go home now.
While the story focuses more on the tragedy than it does on the scary, I think it's still a good ghost story. The sadness behind Madeline's loneliness that results in her being a ghost, and the bond she forms with Stacy really make you care about the characters. Heck, I was even pulling for Stacy's mom and dad to get back together, though that was clearly left unresolved for the sequel. Loneliness is something that a lot of people can relate to, making this an easy story to get invested in.
It's very important to make friends, Stacy. You shouldn't have to be alone.
The scares in this were solid. They did include a lot of jump scares, which I consider a cheaty way of getting an audience reaction, but there was also a lot of other tense moments using more creative tactics. The door opening on its own, the uses of light and shadow to make Madeline appear just downright sinister in parts. All great stuff. Younger me might have found this one scary. At the very least, I would have started avoiding old ladies offering me tea and friendship.
No one who dies here ever really dies.
The acting in this episode was split for me. Stacy wasn't awful, but she really wasn't great either. For the most part, she's okay, but some of her fear acting was kind of cringe-inducing. Angela's in the episode so little I really don't have anything to say about her, but she was fine in the two scenes that she was in.
I thought we were supposed to start hanging out together.
This was an odd situation where there were actually more adult actors than kids in the episode, and they carry it. Stacy's mom doesn't have a ton of screen time, but more than that of a lot of Are You Afraid of the Dark parents, and she does the most with that time. She has some nice moments with Stacy that show she really cares about her daughter. In fact, one might even say that Stacy's mom has got it going on. You get it? Because of the song. T-Horse has even less time on screen than Stacy's mother, and while he's just there to be an over-the-top character, he nails it. I'm not sure if his accent was real or not, but it sounds as legitimate as a stereotype could. Madeline was the standout in this episode, though. She gets to show some real emotion throughout. Joy, sorrow, anger. She brings them all to the table along with her tea tray.
It's about time you came to see me.
Kiki, this was my favorite tale of yours thus far. The tale of Apartment 214 meets the approval of the Midnight Society. The Midnight Society members poll on this episode was extremely one-sided, with only about 5% of the vote being disapproval, so my ruling stands.
I love it.
I want to thank the following Midnight Society members for participating in this video's poll.
I'll take it from here, dearie. Now, before we have some tea, I'd like to thank Brooke M., Jenna, Mike S., Peggy, Jean, Andrea A., Allison, Jesse, Preston, Adrian, Wendy, Scott, Lineal, ooh, what a lovely name, Lineal, Jessica, Matthew D., Margaret, Jackie, Michael R., Chris, Matthew S., Jessica, Deanna, and if you're thinking, my, that's the worst Mrs. Doubtfire impersonation I've ever heard, well, that's because I'm supposed to be Norman Bates. Either way, you can bugger off. Jeannie, Joshua, Shannon, Michael G., Anne, Brett, Jamie, Ryan M., Jacqueline, Stephanie, Melissa, Daniel, LaVuff, Dontasia, oh, another lovely name, Dontasia, Andrea Q. My, there's so many of you. I think I might have a sip of that tea after all. Oh, that's nice. Tastes like Diet Mountain Dew, that does. Genoa, Daniel, Liz, Mike B, John, Sarah, Edna, Chantel, JM, Tony, Nicole, Kate, Jason, Adam, Matthew, Mandy, Allison, Sarah A, Martina, Stacy, Nazia, Matt P, Becky, Patricia, Eric, Amy, Brian, Mary. Do you ever wonder why we old ladies wear these big sweaters? They're so hot, and the wig's not helping any. Ryan A, Andrew, Jesse P, Benjamin, Michael W, Tara, Dan, Brandon, Brooke A, Matt, Kaylin, and Boppo Screw. Thank you all, and remember,
don't break your promises.
What did you all think of Kiki's story? Did you see it as a kid? Did you find it scary or meh? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to check out the next episode about the tale of Watcher's Woods. Until then, are you afraid of the dark?
Niet.
thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and a share. Be sure to subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified when more Midnight Society episodes go up. And we've got some other fun shows on the channel, so stick around. You might find something else that you like.